girl doesn't
I've been
look
playing this
anything
game for a little while, and it's
stares
pretty
at
good.
her for a minute. Then
I
she
like it a
says,
lot.
"Okay, follow me." Karen looks smug. I then discreetly
designs
follow
are
them
really
because I
cool.
really want to know where this is
I
going.
was gonna say I
So
hate it
Cool
at
Girl
first,
and
but it's
Karen
actually
went
really
their
good.
way down the aisles until they get to the back of the store. They get to the concession shops and Cool Girl says, "What brand are you looking for?" Karen then offers all the different choices. From now that's more like girl, is and all of them is in the nearest concession shop. She then points to the concession shop name and asks Karen if she can read it. Karen is confused and says, "Yes, it says Specsaver. Options for you." Okay. Girl, yep, and clearly you need to be here because I don't look anything like the staff. I don't work here, you crazy cow. Should I gone to Specsaver? And then she so funny. I would like to show the camera to this episode. I'm so beautiful. I don't think they did anything, but I like to think they did. Well, laddies, lasses, and lassos, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much subscribe to my old video. Anyway, today we're gonna do something beautiful. A glorious subreddit called r/traumatized, which is a beautiful case of like petty revenge. Have you ever had people that treat you really poorly or weirdly entitled or asks ugly, invasive questions and they think it's funny? And you wish you had the perfect quarterback in the moment, the kind of stuff you think up in the shower like 6 months later. Because some people actually did have those perfect customers, and that is what this entire video is all about. Nurse said I was squeamish because I hadn't had children yet. I tried to tell how they didn't test my word. 2 weeks ago, but if the blood takes too long, I am likely to vomit and or faint. Ooh, I this is just a light phobia for needles and stuff work. It's usually fine in the moment, but if you're exposed to it like for 1 minute, 2 minutes, like, okay, no, down I go. I once very embarrassingly threw up on the nurse's shoes. I read this as in the nurse's. You first? That would have been funny. Oh god. Huh? You can have it back. The nurse looks at me like they don't and asks if I have children. Oh, I hate that when people don't take it seriously. Last time I did this, my doctor was actually very pleasant about it. So I got to sit in this chair that they like flip backwards so you don't get lightheaded. And then I had a fruit bed afterwards, so I had decent blood sugar and stuff, and I got to sit there for a couple minutes.
Why does it make me do this?
So like, if you are lucky and get a good
I really
nurse
do
or
not
doctor
care.
to do this, it can be a quite decent experience.
I don't care.
But yeah, no, I can't. I do.
No.
I say no. Keep in mind that the labels for my blood test are infertility in big bold letters, but whatever. The nurse goes on about how I won't be this squeamish once I have kids. With that label on the... Alright. I am pretty pissed off at this point, as I already feel a bit woozy, so I say very coldly, I don't used to be squeamish about needle as a kid, which is why doctors in my home volunteered me for medical medical training. I specifically remember the day they taught me how to draw blood from my neck. It is wildly illegal to allow interns and trainees to do this on kids. It's one thing if you have no like 7 or something. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where the comes from. Hard to tell. Christ, man. Not parents like illegal testing, but like treat kids in healthcare scenarios because it can really trigger some kind of phobic stuff. It's really. So the nurse turned right and proceeded to because they took so long throwing up, which they had to clean up. Yes! Payback! Maybe next time they will learn to listen to their patients. I mean, in one way, that's one way to do it. Right? Unless they throw up at them. It's like an octopus, you know? It's a defense mechanism. I had a recent experience where I got a cut on my finger, a pretty like decent one, and it feels because you're like, how is this my body's reaction? You're like, okay, I can't stand up any longer because of the phobia. But I still have to like catch it up. So you like lay down with band-aids and stuff. Like bodies and brains. Oh my god, what are they doing sometimes? I read in a book a while ago, I think it might have been that they could implant into humans that could completely alter their brain. You could install this in people who have, for example, really bad existential dread, or for example, hyper-intense depression. Absolutely amazing. If I could install a switch like that in my own brain for my phobias, God, I would do it in an instant. That sounds absolutely amazing. Karen said, more than 20 years ago, me and my sisters were still in elementary. Our mom took us to a shopping mall for groceries. Whereas kids picked whatever books we wanted, while she was picking educational books for both of us. The bookstore was also selling for various topics. While both of us we wanted, it was opened up one of the discs and poked my sister in the eye. My sister immediately started to cry her eyes out, and my mom rushed over to see what was happening. She scolded the little boy after hearing what happened, to which he got upset and went to grab his Karen of his mother. I put Kaya, and I couldn't get away with it. Outrageous. What a poopy child. Karen comes over and demands to know who yelled at her son. The ladies began to get into the shouting at her. My mom argued that the kid had no reason to hurt her. Karen argued, boys will be boys. Alright, boys will be boys. It's something you say, for example, when you and your quirky neighborhood friends are trying to reconstruct a local abandoned shopping into a car. That's kind of the recipe. Not like poking people's eyes out. Or you know? No. And he doesn't know any better than we asked my mom, why are you overreacting? I decided enough was enough. I did a frontal kick on the kid as hard as I can, making him fall on his butt. I saw there was a nice footprint imprinted on him. He began to let out the most annoying cry I have ever heard. The Karen quickly rushed over to her little turd and began shouting at me. I looked her in the eye and said, boys will be boys, why are you overreacting? I don't know, man. Like, sure, you shouldn't hit people, but it punches you first. I don't know. Me being a little sprouty elementary kid didn't care, and rode that hype train for weeks. I salute you. But your mom says every once in a while violence is the answer. There are few cases where violence should be the first response, but we do not have to accept abuse by being pacifist. This is actually like a side tangent into ethics debates, for example, because usually, violence isn't an option. But there's also the thing in ethics where you start tolerating intolerance, if that makes sense. If the passivity or like how much leeway you give a specific person or element or organization, whatever it is, to the point they start doing harm, then you can argue that you can do the less ethical option at the moment because it causes less harm. So that's kind of away from the situation quite so quickly, and sometimes I do wonder what the guy thought after he learned his lesson. So my mom had been terminal and was in hospice care in her home. We knew time was limited. However, when I'm upset, the first thing to go to hell is I had only slept 2 hours that night, and hadn't been getting much more sleep than that for the past 2 weeks. But she ended up passing slightly before 4 in the morning. That was nice. So after she passed, I decided I needed caffeine to get through the day. So when the nearest gas station opened up at 8 a.m., I headed home to work for some minutes. I likely did look a bit nasty. It's easy to tell when I'm tired. I was wearing college merch that was much bigger than my size. I get out of my car and start shuffling through my clothes. I couldn't remember which gigantic object I was. While I did that, this man pulls up to a pump in a very shiny car. I don't remember what he looked like beyond that. He looked a bit like a very put-together game show host. This man turns to me with his confident face, and this was all said loudly, and says, "It's a shame someone so pretty can't improve everyone's day with a smile." I burst out crying, ugly crying, with a sobbing mouth from standing to bawling in a mostly empty parking lot. I did manage to yell something like, "I am sorry, I am not freaking pretty enough for you. My mom died 4 hours ago." You turned on his phone and left. He didn't apologize. I was saved from standing in the parking lot sobbing by a woman like and he walked away without saying a word. He came back to give me my ticket, and he couldn't make eye contact. Most expensive box of tampons I ever bought. However, the look on that guy's face was priceless. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this when you have, for example, a public servant or anything that starts asking very questions about things that aren't really any business. I remember, not quite as intimate, of course, but I remember similar questions regarding
finally,
a
Rainbow, I
taxation
need to
topic
complete
with like the
those
business I
for
run, like small company, like
run
and they're sort of asking like, well, what kind of server backups do you run? I'm like, first off, this isn't really any of your business because what I'm supposed to do and how I save my files is my business. And if it's not a paperwork, that means I'll pay for it myself, which is more expensive and already taxed money. So that shouldn't be an issue, like no one is hiding anything. Secondly, you want to see my backup server? Look at this. That's my backup server. Not sponsored, sadly. Very innocent example, of course, compared to the story, but sometimes people just ask questions that are like beyond what they should be asking, and it just reaches kind of ridiculous territory. It is a little violent. My kid can die if I don't. I was waiting to check in at a dentist today, and some old lady started and such. We're in Florida, and I am going to ask. I guess, but most people just mind their own business and leave me alone. There is a few, however, who are curious about it. She looked at me and asked why I was wearing that thing on my face. Oh, did they also call it like a face diaper? Wouldn't be surprised. Why am I out and about if I am that scared? God forbid someone tries to live their life. Jesus Christ. That's such a dumb question as well. Why are you wearing a seatbelt if you're that scared of it? This is common sense, y'all. God, Jesus, you can have the same thing like helmet and biking. If you're that scared, why are you even biking? No, I'm not scared of biking. This is common sense. I don't like that. I have considering. My son at work? Let me make this uncomfortable for us both. I was working as a front-end cashier for a local grocery store. It was around the time of my lunch break, so my line was closed off after this last customer. Grizzled, 60-70-year-old bearded guy. We'll call him BG for bearded guy. Me, early 20s, feminine cashier. As I finish ringing up his purchase and he goes to slide his card, the card machine doesn't work. I tell him to keep swiping until it beeps. We were mid-change to new sales systems, so this was a common occurrence. I bend under my till to organize while he's sliding his card. As I'm bent over, his card dips. Sweet, let's wrap this up so I can go eat. Instead, ding! Bearded guy. Oh, I liked it when you did that. I am still under the till. I roll my eyes, and then inspiration strikes. Petty inspiration. I come up.
Did what, sir?
Well, it liked it.
Why would it like it that I bent over?
It's a boy part. Boys like it when girls bend over.
But why?
Well, they just do.
Me gleeful on the inside at this point.
But why? I don't understand.
Bearded guy. Flustered. His face gets red. He mumbles.
Ma'am, you're making me
What is that name?
I drop the dialect. I lean forward across the chest.
How do you think I feel? You want to comment on my backside? Well, I am at work.
It's not harassment if it's complimenting.
right there.
I'm in place. I'm in work. Partner. You could say it's around the horse working. Not that great. I was once at a bar where some douche was hitting on a lesbian, and when she told him she was lesbian, he said,
You just haven't had the right pee-pee yet.
Hearing this, I, a 6'2", 280-pound straight man, began aggressively hitting on him. The guy is like,
Hey, bro, I'm not gay.
to which I responded, Are you sure? Maybe you just haven't had the right pee yet. Oh my god, I love this. This reminds me of that beautiful story I read a while ago when there's like a gay bar and all the straight dude that comes in to hit on lesbian women. And then there is this super buff gay dude who just aggressively flirts with these boys. And has like these super douche, tank top, ripped sunglasses, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a gay vindicator. I'm uncomfortable. It is an absolute. Mother tries to spank. My mother has always been fond of physical punishment.
That one single thing just instantly killed him.
Saw the towel.
Damn!
Swallowed me to start spanking. Crying out in pain, I said, and asked, what sort of smart butt response was that? My response? After so many spankings, I was wondering when I would start to enjoy it. She looked horrified, left the room, and I called down the hallway. Oh, come back! We can take our relationship to the next level.
1 to 12.
I was never spanked again. Oh my god.
It is so sad that it was necessary to begin with. She's such an awful parent.
You gotta be kidding me.
Incredible power play. It gives me a similar vibe to the pub. You know, you just like out creep the person who's the person. You know, it's kind of beautiful. Parents like this are absolutely awful. I traumatized the cop with a tampon.
Used to be a running theme. The main trauma for police officers. Tampons.
When I was 19, I was driving home from a large city and was having a really heavy period. I lived about 45 minutes away and not 10 miles outside the city. I noticed a cop start following me. I was getting nervous because I had started seeing some unfortunate sneaks. With a tampon me 4 hours of having grown, it literally shot out like a bullet train. Oh no! Leaving a large bloody wake that coated my thighs and skirt. Okay, so the whole car just looks like a murder scene. Oh, got it. I tried as predicted, the donut monster flew on his little flashing lights, and I started bleeding as I pulled over, and huge tears started falling on my face. No doubt was pleased that he got stuck out in the country, where everyone knows everyone, and text and radios them to warn them. But he clearly wasn't prepared for me. Chris P, license and register. Are you okay? Me, howling and holding my bloody hands. No! I am having my period, and my stomach hurts, and my head hurts, and my tampon came out, and I can't get it back in, and this is a new dress, and I ruined it. I just want to go home and cry, even though... Crispy, where is home? Me, name's town, Crispy, just try to drive safe, practically trips over himself getting back into his cruiser. Honestly, that was probably one of my proudest moments. Edits, I know my voice is similar to one that was on here earlier, and that's we are different with different experiences, but it's funny how things explode. I love that this seems to be a sort of universal experience. Tampon issues and proud misogyny, child of violence, I would pull directly from an old customer and bring my own story from my cashier days to the table. I was running up
Cowboy hat. That's cute.
This is not willing to give him any rope. I pretended I didn't. He said,
Never heard of one. You can't beat their sweet life.
I said, I didn't get it. I said, this is the one that makes me joke. That's like a really good way of doing it. It makes me so embarrassed.
You will when you're married.
That's how you double down? Are you kidding me? You're like every joke isn't and you push it further and make it like, oh my god, it's so bad. And as I'm stacking, that's one of my darker impulses. Yeah, I remember when my dad knocked my mother's teeth out. The dude's bravado shit. Oh, sorry, that wasn't he said. And, you know, every night. You know what I'm saying? Very much falling into place, and that includes empty jokes. But this joke in particular, I think, pretty much doesn't matter of the context. It's not even particularly funny. But even at that, it gets significantly worse when you take it outside of your own little social bubble. It's absolutely wild. Don't do this. And it sounds like this dude learned his lesson. No, it's weird. After strangers funny. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I had many strangers in my belly without bothering. That is so outside of me. I don't know that I'm going so I figured out what I would have next time. I put my hand on their belly and waited until the inevitable moment when they looked up at me. I took my hand and said, "Oh, he's I thought that's what you were doing." And I felt like I got something. I began hoping someone would do it. I loved it because it couldn't even be twisted into something that was over the top. Doing the same thing that they did to just make them realize, oh, this is really weird when it happens to you. Huh?
It's so funny. Yes, indeed, we're touching each other's bellies because they are. Ooh, you got a nice one there, don't you? Such a power move.
Hell yeah. Yo, Dr. Rich. So my boss sent me to the station to buy some office supplies since it was a slow day at work. I am checking out and the employee asked me if I want to donate to whatever thing they were promoting. I said no, and he was saying, are you sure? Not even $1? Something doesn't really look great. Well, in that moment, I decided to shut him up. I am in all my preparation for work, long coat shirt and yoga pants. And you can see my scars from a terrible motorcycle accident. I told him I was forced to my work. Getting back to work. I said, working at I sort of feel bad for the employee as well in this case because he's probably sort of forced to do this, you know? It's probably part of his role to just promote whatever thing they have going on to register. But of course, it feels a bit whack to be like, oh, I just got out this struggling situation. And this multi-star company is asking me to donate instead of just doing it himself. You know? Just do it as a tax write-off. Like, really shit. So mixed feelings about employees being stuck in the crossfire with this kind of stuff, but yeah, no, the situation is a bit whack, yo.
You need to tell her she's adopted.
So this happened years ago when I was in kindergarten. My mom is a Polish kid, and my dad is a dark-skinned first-generation African-American. In skin color and tone, I look exactly like my dad. Growing up, I looked nothing like my mom. One day, she dropped me off at school, but before she could leave, one of the other parents stopped her.
I'm gonna end the video here because I'm bored, but it was a really good game. They should go play it someday.